Bleh. That's what I have to say. Bleh. But, good evening, everyone. I apologize for being late. I woke up at about... right about the time I was supposed to go live with a massive headache. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then I look at the weather report, and apparently it's supposed to rain tonight. So there's a storm coming in. Usually whenever storms come in, I get headaches. So that sucks. I'm feeling a bit better now. But, good lord. It is, headaches are never a comfortable thing, man. There's some weird shit going on in the world, dude. So let's talk about it, like, before we get started. Because, like, the Dr. Disrespect thing just happened, right? So he came out and he admitted that he had a conversation with a minor on Twitch with through the Whispers program, and the conversation got a little inappropriate. Now, the thing is, I'm personally not going to brand the guy a pedo for one particular reason. And the reason is this. Twitch didn't report him to the police. Which means one of two things. A, that the conversation was one where it got way too casual. Just in general. And things were said that shouldn't have been said, and then later on he found out that the person that he was speaking to was under the age of 18. Or Twitch is covering up for a groomer. Now, my brain immediately goes to, you know, where the business aspect of this is, which is basically, okay, we've got this guy under an exclusivity contract for our platform. And 3 years ago, he apparently was having an inappropriate conversation with someone that we now know is a minor. Why would you settle instead of going to the cops? Because you go to the cops, you have to pay $0. Getting rid of the guy is completely justified at that point. There's no legal recourse whatsoever. Instead, you settle with him in a lawsuit. Which makes me think that what happened is that the conversation was probably one that got way too casual about mature subjects, but it didn't lean into anything illegal. And as such, you know, they paid out because they probably jumped the gun instead of giving him a slap on the wrist and saying, hey, just, you know, what you did 3 years ago was fucked up, don't do it again. You know, and ban him for a short amount of time, but they didn't do that. So, I think a lot of people are making assumptions about what happened, and I think that after what was said today, we're never going to really know the truth. It's not good, by the way. I'm not defending what Dr. Disrespect did. The fact of the matter is that you should never have that casual of a conversation with someone who is a fan of yours as a content creator. And I'm not some big fucking name. I've only got over 20,000 subscribers, right? But I talk with people who are fans and stuff like that. I have a Discord server. I get DMs from people. And I've only ever had one conversation get to a point where I felt incredibly uncomfortable going forward with it because it was a girl asking me if I thought she was pretty. And she was dating another guy. And I'm like, nah, this conversation ain't happening, yo. Like, for some reason I just started talking like Jesse Pinkman for a second. But just, like, that conversation, like, you just can't have those conversations. And that was something that, one video I was watching, like, pointed out. It's like, dude, just don't have the conversation. At the same time, it was back in 2017, so it's like, the dude hasn't done anything since then that we know of. So it's like, I'm not gonna assume that the guy's like got some sort of like Doctor Disrespect's basement is like the movie fucking Sallow or something, you know. I'm not gonna do that, but it's like, dude, you fucked up. Now, is he gonna like retire from what he's doing? No, he's not. Like if people expect that this is gonna be the end of Doctor Disrespect, you're fucking deluded. That dude makes serious bank off of being on any streaming platform. He has a massive follower base. He's not going anywhere. And what's going to end up happening is we're going to have where it's going to be like with some other people that have had moments like this that are still around. His mods are just going to be like, look, you bring this up in chat, like, we're just going to ban you. So yeah. So that happened. And I think that, and this is the one thing that's like wild to me whenever it comes to like content creation, is I feel like when the dumbest shit happens for a content creator, it's whenever they start feeling like a rock star. Because you feel like a rock star, you feel like you can do anything you want, right? And obviously that's stupid because you can't. There's no world where things don't catch up with you, right? There's no world where being a fucking idiot doesn't catch up with you. And Dr. Disrespect was being a fucking idiot and it caught up with him. You know? Now, the guy from Twitch, or guys from Twitch, they're sitting on the idea that he was sexting with this person. In which case, we're gonna have to see receipts. And because that's an even bigger, like, that's a huge accusation because it's illegal. And he's still within the statute of limitations. Meaning that if there's receipts of him doing it, then, you know, there's going to be law enforcement agencies that are going to want to get their hands on this. Because you can't settle that away, you know. And if he is guilty of sexting with a minor, then he absolutely deserves to be thrown in prison. Absolutely. But it is still innocent until proven guilty. And I'm going to treat it as such. Chat got really quiet. Did I say something stupid, I'm guessing? Because, again, I'm not defending what he did. What he did was immoral. Like, you do not have those kind of conversations with anybody. Like, I'm of the opinion, like, you probably shouldn't have, a conversation about sex in general with anyone who is not your wife if you're married. Period, point blank. You just should not do it. If it comes up in conversation, especially if it's with another woman, you just say, hey, I don't want to talk about this with you. Like you're not my wife, you know, you're not the person I am in love with. So yeah. But then again, and this is just generally speaking, like, there is a big difference between what is immoral and then what is illegal. You know, just because something is not illegal doesn't mean you should do it. You know? Because, like, let's take, like, from a biblical standpoint. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I will read that here in a second. From, like, a biblical standpoint, like, drunkenness is a sin, right? You shouldn't get drunk, according to the Bible, which is why I never have. You know, it's one of those things where, but you could legally get drunk, you just can't, you know, do drunken stuff in public. So let's read this super chat from adherent of Lady Columbia. It says, watching the Wish for Mercury vid and enjoying it. Was wondering what you thought of people that say canon belongs to the fans. I think obviously, officially, no, but fans do determine long-term success. I think it's like what you said. I don't think that the two ideas are mutually exclusive. So, fans do absolutely determine long-term success, and if they don't agree with a decision you make on what is officially canon, it will backfire on you. I think that goes without saying. Mike? My mic's not off. You might have the, like, somebody might want to let Columbia know, like, he's got his sound muted. Yeah, the mic's not dead, dude. Let's see if he catches up to it. Gaslighting is real. Oh, that's funny. This happens a lot. I get a lot of people that say, like, the audio's not working on your video. It's like, then click the mute button. You have mute on. It's not me. The audio is working. I triple check it. Like, I would know if the audio is not on because I'm looking at my screen right now. Like, I have 3 monitors. I have one here, and one here. So, one monitor for one thing, one monitor for another thing. This one here is my stream monitor. So, like, my OBS goes right here. I can see the mic peaking. Or the mic levels going up and down every time I speak. So I know the audio is working. I know the audio source is correct because I checked it before the stream. So yeah, I think that it's just... this is always funny to me. Because what usually happens... I don't know if this is true for everybody, but... for me personally, what I do is I have my 3 monitors, right? Sometimes I will have something on my Now you're good, Columbia. It's not, it happens. It's not a big deal. But what I'll do is I'll have one monitor that has something on the background, like a wood turning video or something like that. And then I'll have like the thing that I'm working on and then my notes for the thing that I'm working on. So like bing bang boom. So, but the wood turning video will be muted. So the next time I open a YouTube video, that video is muted too. So your whole setup just stopped, not even muted. Might be an audio driver problem. I've had those before. Or maybe like if you switch an audio source, like I have Bluetooth headphones. Like if I turn them on, sometimes like on Discord or Chrome, it'll set my audio device to default. But I have several audio devices because this webcam has a microphone, that one has a microphone. You know, all 3 of my monitors have speaker outputs, so on and so forth. So it's like, so which one is default, right? But yeah. But yeah, before we get started, I guess let's talk about that G-Witch video because that one has done really well in regards to views. At least for a humble little channel like my own. And somebody mentioned the P-Bandai stuff too. So I don't know what's coming out tomorrow. All I know is I don't have the money for it. Okay, let's have a look here. I see Advance of Data stuff. I see Advance from Data stuff. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, why am I broke? Fuck. Oh no. God damn it. Oh no. Oh. I'm in pain right now. Oh man. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Oh, man. You have, from left to right, the Master Grade Gym Sniper 2 White Dingo. You have the Hazel TR1, the Hazel Custom, the Advanced Hazel, the G parts for the Hazel, the G parts for the Hazel Custom, the Shield Booster expansions, the Hazel 2 Early Type, the Primrose Emergency Escape Pod, and the Hazel Osla. All going on sale at the exact same fucking time. God damn it. I want all of these. Oh, man. Oh, what a time to be broke, dude. Oh. God damn it. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to finish my Titan shelf at this point. Fuck. Oh. You know what my Titan shelf is right now? It's a Marasai and a Gundam Mark II. That's it. Ugh. It's frustrating. God damn. No, you're fine, Noobalicious. I'm just in pain. It's just fuck. God damn it. Ugh. That sucks. Well. Shit. The crack is eternal. Well, getting a high grade doesn't matter because I don't build high grades. I don't build, generally speaking, I don't build 1/100s because my hands are too goddamn big. Apparently the Gym Sniper Custom 2 from the Dreamcast game is getting modeled. Well, yeah, that's what this is. And this isn't new. Like the Gym Sniper 2, they put this on P-Bandai like right after they put together the original Gym Sniper 2 one. They also have a Lido Wolf custom, which the only difference between the Lido Wolf custom and the normal Gym Sniper 2 is the decals. So all I did is I bought a Gym Sniper 2 and I colored it in Lido Wolf colors. So, but yeah, like the White Dingo one has its own shield, which this is actually different from the. Because some people say, "Oh, that's just a shield from the 08th MS team." No, it's not. It's a different shield. But it has that. It has a different beam rifle. This beam rifle is actually the one from the ground type gym. But it also comes with a bullpup machine gun and a beam rifle. Comes with all this. This basically all of this is like this is mostly equipment from the ground type gym, except for this. The shield is different. But that's the thing about the White Dingo team, man. They came loaded for bear in every mission that they took. They're probably the only team I can think of in Gundam in the 1 year war that really took the Gym Sniper 2 and like really utilized them to their best. Because performance-wise, the Gym Sniper 2 is about on par with the RX-78 too. Like, it's a really good mobile suit. And it's like they took the shield from the 08th MST and welded part of the bigger shield on it. Why is Walmart advertising models underneath your stream? Did you notice which one it is? specifically. Um, it is the very one that I actually said I plan on buying at some point. Now it's sold out, so it's like it's basically there as a gag, you know. It's like because if it were not sold out, if you bought it from that link, I would actually get money for it. I would get a commission. So part of the YouTube partnership program. But yeah. Let's talk about that G-Witch video. Like that was an interesting one. It's definitely getting a lot better reception than the initial review that I did. Which makes me happy because I am like very much, I hate the initial review that I did. Also the Gundam subreddit, I actually went on there to explain my stance on it, and their mods banned me from the website. So I'm not allowed to have differing opinions on The Witch from Mercury, apparently. Which to the R Gundam subreddit, it's like, dude, your mods are a bunch of douchebags. Have you thought about getting that third-party GPO2 from Solomon? Yeah, I plan on it at some point. But yeah, like I'll show you guys my dashboard. There's no personal information here. So yeah, 6.7K views in a little under 24 hours. It's pretty good, you know. And let me find what's the like to dislike ratio on it. 425 likes to 59 dislikes. So, yeah, not bad. Like it's doing a lot better than the last one for sure. Waiting for a BreadTube response. I don't think we'll see it. The one thing that I just find so funny about it is that people were getting mad at me like based on Mighty Lolly sub. Yeah, Lolly's a good dude. I like Lolly. We're actually, I'm the editor on the comic book he's working on. We're also going to be doing a video together in the future too. That we just talked about last time we had a meeting about the book. And my publishing company is the one that's publishing his comic. So very excited about it. I think it's going to be very successful. So but yeah. The G-Witch review was interesting because like there were some elements of it that I kind of expected. Like I expected for some people to get mad at me for finally out in public on a video saying that I'm done with the culture war bullshit and I don't like anybody associated with it. Or at least, well, not their, I think Lolly got banned from the Berserk Reddit. Probably. Yeah. The thing about it is that people were trying to say, oh, go to X whatever, it's like to get past the virtue signaling. I'm like, if I'm calling everyone an asshole, who am I virtue signaling to? I'm leaving that in the air because I genuinely want to know. Like, what the fuck? Like, who am I virtue signaling to? Who is this imaginary group that I am virtue signaling to? You know? When I say I don't like content creators that are culture warriors. Because I don't like their content. What virtue am I signaling? I'm not claiming moral superiority. I just think that everybody's dumb. Me thinking people are dumb is not new. That's not new at all. Anybody in here can tell you. Like, me thinking people are stupid. Um, I remember a friend of mine in college said, he's like, you really don't suffer fools, do you? I'm like, no, I don't. Like, if I think what you're doing is dumb, I'm going to tell you it's dumb. You know? Let's see here. The only thing both sides of the culture war did is seal themselves away in their own echo chambers. Done with it myself. Just wanted to enjoy something without having to take a side. Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm at. It's like, my personal beliefs have not changed. Like, I don't see myself voting again in the near future. Like, I just don't care about it. But, at the same time, like, governmental beliefs, I still want limited government. I still want low taxes. If if we can get rid of as many taxes as humanly possible, that would be wonderful. What else is, like, just stuff like that. Like, I'm generally a fairly conservative dude. But I'm more libertarian on other issues. Like, I don't disagree with the idea of having gay marriage. I'm not. It doesn't bother me. As long as religious people have the right to refuse to do the wedding or involve themselves in business that would endorse such things, then we're fine, because at the end of the day, the way it's supposed to work is that your rights end where someone else's begin. So you can have your what you do, and you can be married to who you want to in the eyes of the law, but nobody else, while nobody else can infringe on that, and your right to your own home and your property, you cannot, by extension, infringe on theirs whatsoever. They are allowed to have what they want in their domicile with their values and their beliefs, and you are allowed to have yours. And if you don't agree with each other, just don't interact with each other, because you have freedom of association. So yeah, I'm, like, politically speaking, I'm the same guy I always was. The problem that I have is that I don't think that the constant rage bait and the clickbait helps anything. You know? It's a Gundam was saying G-Witch is garbage made to cater to the West. Meanwhile, he's calling Demon Slayer a modern timeless masterpiece. Demon Slayer is not a modern timeless masterpiece. It's Diet Berserk. What a fucking goof. I don't like that dude's content either. I think he's got some really weird fucking takes. I think a lot of it is just anger. It's not really well thought out. But that generally speaking, and I'm saying this as somebody who has met and talked with some of these people that create this content. It's like, these are not thinking people. They're not. They're very reactionary. Like, and I don't mean reactionary politically. I mean reactionary in the actual definition of reactionary, meaning that they live not really thinking about their responses. They just react to it. Their initial reaction is what they stick to, and they double down on it. So, never even watched Demon Slayer. It's mid. It like a lot of shonen, it's like that's come out over the last 6-7 years. It's mid. Like, I thought the same thing about My Hero Academia. I'm like, this is just mid. Like, you're telling me this is better than, like, all superhero stories? No. I can pick out a lot of Spider-Man arcs that are a lot better than this shit. A lot of X-Men arcs. A lot of Superman. Like, fuck off. No, it's not. Randomly made beef with some Japanese Twitch streamer by calling her an e-thought. That's childish. Chainsaw Man and Dandadan are peak. Chainsaw Man I can definitely co-sign. I don't know what Dandadan is. You really like Demon Slayer, but you wouldn't call it a modern masterpiece? Well, fair enough. And here's the thing. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean you can't like something. You know? There are people in the audience that like Seed. That are like longtime fans of Gundam Seed. They just know I hate it. You know? And that's fine. Because I tell people all the time, like whatever you want. I'm going to have my opinions on it, and I'm going to be vocal about it because I'm a grumpy old man. You know? I'm in my late 30s. I'm in my late 30s. I've gone through a lot of bullshit. I am an old soul. I have earned the right to be a fucking curmudgeon, you know? And I certainly am one. But, I've always been of the belief that once you get to a certain age, like, you've earned the right to be a curmudgeon if you've just lived that long. And you've gone through a lot of stuff. And yeah. So. Yeah, we all have our own tastes and takes. And some of them, like, admittedly, I will have my own that are bad. You know? Dan is a shonen that was made by the assistant of Chainsaw Man's author. Okay, interesting. Late 30s is the new 30. Well, yeah, you wouldn't think that I'm 38 by looking at me. Even with the beard. Because my beard does make me look older. You wouldn't think I'm in my late 30s. Like, the only thing that would be like that's kind of a dead giveaway is my hairline. You know? But then again, I've been seeing some pictures of Zoomers. And man, Zoomers are like speedrunning aging. Like, holy shit, man. It's wild to me. Well, my generation definitely ages slower, it seems. At least I think. Speaking of anime people are looking into, the only one that's new that I'm gonna watch because I hear it's edgy bullshit and it might be fun, is the Kingdoms of Ruin. Apparently, it's like super fucked up for the sake of being super fucked up. I'm like, oh, if this is edgy bullshit, I want to see it. I want to see if it's bad or good. Like, because like I've watched Killing Bites. I didn't read the manga. I just watched the anime, which only got one season. I watched Killing Bites, and I'm like, this is edgy bullshit. This is so fucking stupid. But I was laughing the whole fucking time. However, I did not expect them to make a fucking Pandolin seem lethal. That was wild. I'm like, okay. Pandolins are like one of the most like adorable animals on Earth. The only downside is they carry leprosy. You know? Yeah, Anthony actually says it perfectly. I love the second half of Gundam 00. You think it was a step down. It's your opinion. It's not a personal attack. I'll never affect my enjoyment of it. Exactly. And at the end of the day, this is something that I talk about with people all the time whenever it comes to being a critic. Is that the things that bother one person, you can still acknowledge, but it doesn't bother you as much. Because that's personal. Here's an example. I don't hate Starfield. I don't. Do I think the writing is mid? Yeah, it is. But is it fun to go from different places in the galaxy to different places in the galaxy, doing bounty hunting and blowing up starships and stuff like that? Yeah. It is. I have a lot of fun with that. It's an itch that I wanted scratched for a long time in a more accessible fashion than having to fire up Wing Commander Privateer. Basically it. It's really shallow, I'll freely admit. And a lot of the criticisms about the game are spot on. The fact that it took them so long to fix their fucking map system is ridiculous. But, it doesn't mean that that you can't find enjoyment in it, because there's quite a bit to enjoy as well. Because it basically just plays like Fallout 4, And Fallout 4 was fun to play. There's also, like, I have my criticisms of Dragon Ball Z. And but I'll even say them as somebody who liked DBZ. Like, I grew up watching it, basically. Like, Gundam Wing and fucking DBZ were, like, the shit when I grew up. When I was, like, in my teenage years. Ugh. I'm still all stuffed up. Oh, goodness. But yeah, back on the G-Witch thing, it's just like, that to me was just wild, because it's like, if you're going to accuse me of something, virtue signaling is not it, Chief. Like, it ain't the, that's not, like, I'm guilty of a lot of things in life, that ain't one of them. Yeah, I think that, Anthony, you put it together really well there. He says, Starfield overpromised and underdelivered. It has its enjoyment, but it's not a modern pillar of gaming. I agree with that. Wholeheartedly. I don't hate it, but, it's not what it could have been. And I think that that's a fair take. Helps if I turn this on. You guys hear that? Storm is a-rolling in. But yeah, there's other things. It's like, I don't hate the Hellsing TV show. Is it as good as Ultimate? No. But I have no reason to hate it. It's actually pretty enjoyable. It has one of the grooviest openings of an anime ever. Like, goddamn. But, yeah, the G-Witch thing, like, I kind of expect, like, the one thing that bothered me, like, I legit got pissed, and people in my Discord server will tell you how mad I got, is a dude who started talking to me about privilege. To give a bit of background on me, for those of you who are new, I was adopted when I was a few days old. I was the 5th child in a secular Jewish family. Let me read this real quick. Thank you for the $5, by the way. Kaiju 8 is mid as fuck, but the concept of a 30-year-old male hero is refreshing, both in the West, but especially in the East. There's less mature heroes. Fair point. But anyway, to give a little bit of background on me, I was the youngest of 5 children, and I was born of an attempt to reconcile a marriage. And the reconciliation did not take, but the missus was pregnant anyway. So, there were 2 options. Either abort me or give me up for adoption. And they chose adoption, thank God. But I wasn't picked up until 4 days after I was born. So I was quite literally born with no name. One tattoo I plan on getting, once I've got like my finances are a little bit more settled, is one that'll get right here at the nape of my neck. So it'll be under my collar, of the number 13. In a very dark red. That's almost black. And the reason for it is there's a song that Glenn Danzig wrote for Johnny Cash called 13. And if you listen to the lyrics of that song, you can kind of understand why I would identify with it. So it's in tribute to Johnny Cash, and Danzig, because both are amazing artists. But anyway, I was literally born without a name. So, where's the privilege there? The home I grew up in, we were always, at least when my parents were together, we were we were lower middle class. And then after my parents separated, for years, both my mom and my dad were beneath the poverty line. So my teenage years, I was in poverty. Where's the privilege there? So I'm adopted, and on top of that, I am ethnically a Jew. I'm about as minority gets, while also having pale skin. And even to this day, I'm not wealthy. I live a middle-class lifestyle. So, lower end of the middle class. I live in an apartment in the center of a city. So, it's one of those things where, if you sit there and you tell me I'm privileged, I'm going to tell you to kiss my ass, and you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Because, and the reason that I dislike it when people say that is not because of any political reason. It's because you don't know another person's life. You don't know what they've gone through. You don't know what they've had to suffer through, so on and so forth. Unless they've been really public with it. And I'm not usually public with my life. I'm fairly, I'm a pretty private guy, So, yeah, saying that it legit pisses me off. Think about the magical gold bars of Moses you receive every form. Dude, when I found out about my ethnic background, because I didn't know until I was in my late 20s, late 20s, early 30s, because that's when my adoptive family, my brothers and sisters, actually reached out to me. I didn't know my mom was Jewish. So yeah, it's one of those funny things where it's my favorite thing to do is to make Jew jokes. to mock the idea that because I'm Jewish, I'm part of some sort of secret cabal looking to destroy the world or whatever the fuck. That to me is hilarious. Hey, Serena. Because when I had found out about it and I was public about it, people immediately hit me with anti-Semitism. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Alright. I gotta do the Tyrion Lannister thing. Alright. Let's get to work. So we got inner frame to paint, and we've got some armor to paint, and then the arms are done. This will not take long. I plan on getting through these really quick. Most of these will not need a lot of primer. Just quick sprays. I've double cleaned my fucking airbrush at this point, so it's gonna spray really well. And on these gray parts, I don't really need more primer than is necessary, because I'm just getting enough on there to make the paint stick. One thing I will give as a pro tip, if you guys can hear me alright, is on pieces like this. So this is an elbow joint, right? You'll notice how I've extended all the gears on it. That's because the paint will get everywhere in there, so when it folds up, if you ever want to pull parts off and do like a battle damage thing, you know, it'll be easier to do. You don't have to repaint it. G Gundam 2026, Israel versus Gaza Gundam. Israel's a giant flying Star of David. That kind of seems like what the, what they would do. I thought of, like, making, one based on, like, a Mossad agent, call it the Iron Dome Gundam. It has and its whole thing is, like, defensive capabilities. It has, like, counter missiles and shit like that. And then its main weapon's a sniper rifle because the IDF has a really good sniper training program. I actually thought about, as a joke in my comic books, making a Jewish hero called Iron Dome. But I decided against it. I'm like, it's a little stereotypical. Just a smidge. You know what? I want to see if I can do something real quick. Let me turn off my fan. Because I talk about comic book stuff, right? For those of you who have not yet, my comic book, Englewood Book 2, we're trying to get orders in for the last bit before we fulfill this. Let's see if I can pin this. Why is it not letting me pin this? Hold on. There we go. Link is going to be at the top. We only need, guys, about 25 backers to get it, and we're at 9 right now. We got a month to go. If you have not picked up Englewood Book 2 yet, if you've not pre-ordered it, please do so. You are going to enjoy it. If you are a fan of old school superhero comics, and stories like that, or if you've never read superhero comics but you like stuff like Spider-Man the Animated Series or things along those lines, that's my writing style. You know, I write pretty easy to get into action stories. They've got a little bit more depth under the surface. Serena's in the chat. She can confirm. She's read everything I've done. I'm her editor too. Professionally speaking, these days now I'm as much of an editor as I am a writer. But Englewood Book 2 is done. Like, it's completely finished. So all that's left to do is to ship them out, and we will have the money to do so in August. So we're getting in orders now, so we can go ahead and get a few more of them out there. So if you would please consider backing it. The link is going to be at the top in that pinned comment if you haven't already. And if you got to wait a little bit because of payday or what have you, I understand. You can, I believe, follow the campaign on Kickstarter, and then it will keep you apprised of, you know, when it's going to close out and all this other shit. Isn't Ragman Jewish? I think he is. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember. Okay. So the inner frame has been primed. Um, you know, see something like, oh wait, the MS team turned into a series. I think that's kind of the vibe they're wanting to do with Requiem for Vengeance, but for the Xeon side of things. I don't know what to think about Requiem. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna review it. You know, it's kind of expected of me. Hey, Shuriken. But it's expected for me to do it, so I'm going to. I don't know what to expect from it. Could be great, could be balls awful, but that's the same with everything. The interesting thing about it is that the whole series is done in the Unreal Engine. So that's an interesting development. Um, Definitely speaks to the versatility of that game engine. But anyway, what was I saying? But yeah, I think Requiem is trying to do something like that, so we'll see what it's like. It's shocking just how recoloring the RX-782's eyes from yellow to red makes it look so much more terrifying. Yeah, and that's kind of why the EZ8 looks scary, because the EZ8 has red eyes. And I think that's kind of what they're invoking with that Gundam is it looks a lot like the EZ8. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it gets done. One thing that I've been just kind of keeping an eye on is like what like most people are saying they want to see me cover. Unicorn is a big one. Like it seems like everybody really wants me to cover Unicorn. But I don't necessarily want to jump ahead of where I'm at in the Universal Century. Because in all like if you think about it, we're only just getting started with all of this. Like 1 Year War did very well. Hopefully Gundam Wing will catch up. I have a feeling Grips War, when we do that, will be very successful. But generally speaking, like what I want to do, like how I want to space this out, is I want to do the review video and then do the deep dive with little other reviews scattered in between it to kind of break up the monotony, and then do the next conflict, review those, and then go from there, so on and so forth. Do Zeta next. That is what is after Wing. Is the Grips War. So Grips War is gonna start with 0083 and Char's Deleted Affair, then on to Zeta itself. The one thing that's been wild though while I've been working on this is that with Gundam Wing, I don't think people realize how dense that fucking series is, how much goes on in it. I've been breaking down every episode, and it feels like every single episode, it's formatted like Game of Thrones, where there's like 3 or 4 different spots you're gonna be every episode. you've seen people give Zeta the wing treatment lately? Really? What, they're saying it's too dark, I'm guessing, or something like that? I feel like the Gundam fandom is in a weird spot because we got an influx of new people with The Witch from Mercury, and a lot of them are they're interacting with older Gundam, and they're like, whoa, like, I didn't know that this was the way that it is. It's like, yeah, like, there's a reason that old school Gundam fans didn't like The Witch from Mercury. It has nothing to do with gay people. It has everything to do with the fact that there is an idea of what Gundam is, and they don't like it getting fucked with. It's that simple, you know. Ugh. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, now we need white primer. It's like it's too dark and edgy for the sake of edginess and full of shock value and badly written. Badly written is wrong. Zeta is sexist? Bullshit. The people who say that think everything is sexist. Like, come on. There's a whole section in it that about the way that women are treated in war and how they can be taken advantage of by skeevy superior officers. Like, that's the whole thing with Shirako. Gen Z doesn't know a lot about older series pre-2000. The sincerity hurts them. That's a good way of putting it, Columbia. The sincerity hurts them. Because media back then, and this is why I like the older stuff so much, is it didn't pull any punches. You know? You read something like Devilman, Violence Jack, or really anything Go Nagai did. You read, or you watch Gundam. Legends of the Galactic Heroes. Things along those lines. You start to realize that, like, what anime was willing to do was very different than it is now. But then again, Japanese culture was very different than it is today. I'm of the opinion that the reason that there's so much sexual content, like so many titty animes and what have you in Japan nowadays, is because, well, ecchi sells. Like, sex sells, it's always going to sell. You know, because people like having sex. And people like sexy things. It's just how it is. There's a reason that, like, for every HoloLive generation, they make sure to have at least 2 chicks with massive tits. You know, not saying anything negative about them as streamers, because there's quite a few girls in HoloLive I like watching. But, you know, like, from an aesthetic standpoint, like, there's a reason they do that, you know? Like, I can tell you right now, with the current HoloLive generation, I have a feeling that the breakout, in regards to which one is going to have the biggest following by the end of the year, it's going to be Raura, the Italian. Because her design is horny overdrive, she has a cute accent, and she giggles a lot. People are going to start flocking to her. Trust me. Calling it now. But yeah, sex sells. And I think that that's part of it. But also I think that Japan is a society that has a lot of sexual repression. You know, it's an issue that they've had for like 20, 30 years now. Where, like, the outlets for these sorts of things are, you know, because Japanese society is a little bit more strict on expression from a societal standpoint, you know, they don't really express themselves in sometimes in healthier ways than they should, and then, of course, that ends up fucking with you. What kind of paints am I using? So, most of what I have is Mr. Color. So you can't really see, like, my desk that well. Let me clean it up a little bit. It's kind of messy. Give me just a second. Because I've got stuff just kind of sitting here that I meant to throw away. There's my spare towel. I admittedly have been very disorganized lately. I've been working on some things. While I've been working and scripting this Gundam Wing video, you can tell whenever I'm scripting something because my office gets really messy. But what I have over here, aside from my car keys, well, not my car keys, I don't own a car anymore, but my house keys, is most of this, let me move the sticks out of the way so you guys can see a little bit better. Most of this right here are Mr. Color paints. So I've got my metallics, all in this section. I've got my gloss paints, and then I've got my semi-gloss. And they're all sorted by color. Mr. Color is very economic in regards to... So here's like your standard Mr. Color jar. These are very economic because they... put it in the palm of my hand so you can, like... It should focus so you can read it better. There we go. These are very economic because it does not take a lot to get a really good coat of paint on something. So these jars, like $2.50 a piece, really cheap. So that's mostly what I use. What I also have here are splash paints. So splash, these guys, this is pre-thinned paint. And it's what I've been using on the gym so far. It goes on thick, but it's just, you load it and spray it. It's very easy to use. It has a very good tone to it, and the paint also has like an interesting texture to it as well. It's a semi-gloss, so if you like semi-gloss paints, that's what you're going to get. And this is what the gym looks like so far, using those style of paints. You know, and it looks pretty good. And I'm using a Mr. Color interior, like metallic paint for the inner frame. You can see it there. So, to kind of give you an idea of like another kit that I've done that's all with Mr. Color paints. Here's my Tall Geese 2. This was done with all gloss paints, which is why it shines as much as it does. Because a lot of Gundams in Gundam Wing, you'll notice, have a very glossy sort of tone to them in the anime. So I like things to be anime accurate. For the most part. Okay, now Trey's is kind of falling over. Let's bring the legs in a little bit. Put the feet down. That's better. Perfect. So that's one that I used. That's all Mr. Color's paints. Now another one that I used all splash paints on is, I need to dust this one off, so let me grab my Jagged. Is my Jagged. This is all splash paints, even the inner frame. Well, the main reason, like, a lot of those paints will cost as much as they do is because they're already thinned. So you're essentially dividing out the cost of a bottle of thinner, which this costs about close to $15. You're basically dividing this out over the course of several little jars. In reality, it is cheaper to get this and buy Mr. Color paints. I just happen to like the look of the splash paints just as much as I do other stuff. So, you like the choice of joint colors? Thank you. I owe it to the Mr. Hobby metallics. Those are, in my opinion, and I'll grab all of them for you. All the ones that I have. Because I have Super Gold, Super Iron, Super Titanium, Super Stainless, so stainless steel. What's this one? This is just that's brass. Chrome silver. And what's this one? Do I already have a titanium here? I do. So, all of these right here, these are amazing for inner frames and piping. Like, for specifically, like, one thing I want to do is I want to, at some point, pull apart my Gundam 3.0 and specifically work on its joints and spray the brass on it because of the magnetic coating on the joints, which is brass colored. I don't think I'm going to do it anytime soon. So yeah, and these are always shiny. They always look great. So, that to me is important. And as you guys saw, like, I'm a very detail-oriented guy when it comes to how I want my Gunpla to look. Like, I actually just go and look at the source material and ask myself, okay, what does this look like in the source material? And I look at it very closely. I look at the inner frame, I look at how the paint looks, so on and so forth, and I decide how I want to go from there. It's like with the Sinanju, I am probably going to do that in either gloss or in metallics. Probably metallics, but I don't know yet, because I have a Cubile that I did with gloss, and I'm honestly not very satisfied with it. Much as I like to do in that kit, it's just like, I feel like I can do this better. It's just one of those things that I will have to go and revisit. The only Citadel paints that come pre-thinned are contrast and shade paints. Really? So I don't know a whole lot about Citadel, admittedly. My thing is I stick to lacquers. They're very easy to work with. They dry very quickly, so you don't find, if you don't want to work on a kit for a fucking week, piece by piece, you don't have to. You can, like I mentioned before, like I've done kits where I'm done with them, full paint job and everything, in 48 hours. My Jagan back there, that's about how long it took me to do that. Was 2 days. I had it done in a couple of days. All right. Now, go ahead and finish priming these. Now these are very small, so they're not going to need a lot. Sure we're getting all of it. Now, on these next bits, there's not really a good way to pin them. So what I have to do is something that I don't recommend unless you've been doing this for a while. I'm going to take a pair of tweezers, put the part here, and very gently hold it like this while I prime it. If I tighten my grip at all, this thing's gonna go flying. So I have to do this left hand. Actually, hold on. Let me very gently switch hands. This is why I keep junk tweezers around, is for parts like this that you can't put them on sticks very easily, if at all. Now we're gonna set that there, and we're gonna just let it dry. Maybe use some Play-Doh on a stick. Yeah, I plan on buying some sticky tack when I get groceries this week. Because this is such a pain in the ass to do. I have lost parts this way. And I've had to clean my entire office, top to bottom, to just find small parts. And even then, some of them just disappear into the goddamn ether. So we're going to let those dry for a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to buy some sticky tack with my grocery order this week. My neck is so goddamn stiff, dude. But, where can you buy the fume hood thing? This bad boy? I got it on Amazon. Here's a question for you guys. Would you guys like me to start putting some of the supplies that I use for... maybe I should do... Well, no, it wouldn't work. I might put a thing in the descriptions of my videos that is all the products that I have for my setup here so that people can buy them. So... You lost the fin for Sharzaku too because it fell off and you've never seen it again. Yeah, that shit like me just... That shit for me just bugs the fuck out of me. Like, things just disappear into the ether. Then you move to a new place and there's just a bunch of Gunpla parts sitting in a corner that you didn't understand. Like, you're like, how the fuck did they get there? So... But, I will probably do something like that then. Ugh. I think after I'm done priming these, I'm going to go grab and throw a nasal strip on. I just realized my fan's not going. I'm like, why is it warm in here? Put my fan on low. Get a little airflow. Oh, goodness. Did I mention? I don't remember if I mentioned this. Did I mention that the script for the next Gundam Wing installment is done? Because the script for the next Gundam Wing installment's done. I even recorded it early this morning. I just have to edit the audio, and then I'm going to send it over to Shirt Dude. Which, admittedly, like, part of the reason that I don't do deep dive after deep dive after deep dive is because I want to consider the time that my editor wants to do things, you know? You know, we're going to just set these down here for now. There we go. And I grab the other two. But yeah, the next episode is done in regards to my part of it. Now it is just for my editor to do the editing part. And then it is done. Hey, Mouse, what's going on, buddy? Tempted to buy a replacement? I don't know where you can buy replacement parts for Gunpla anymore. There used to be a guy that ran a business doing that, and he shut it down. So, I don't know if that's even an option anymore, sadly. Because I had parts for my, my Dynamis go missing at one point. And I had to buy those replacements. Like, that kit would not be complete without that dude. And when he shut it down, I actually emailed him. I'm like, dude, I'm bummed out. Like, that you're closing this down. Like, I understand you got personal stuff to take care of, but like his business like saved my fucking kit's life at some points, you know. So, generally speaking, like, if you want to get a replacement part, you have to go through Bandai, and you have to. The kit cannot be a certain age. Like, it can't be a 20-year-old or more kit, which a lot of the 2.0s are 20 years old now. So it can't be old, and on top of that, you can't request it after, like, more than 90 days after you bought it, so it can't be in your backlog, you know? So, like, with my Banshee Norn back there, I can't, when I do that, I'm going to have to be extra careful with it because I can't have any replacement parts ordered because I bought that a year ago. And the only reason I haven't put it together is because I want to put LEDs in it. And I haven't had the money to do so because building your own LEDs for a goddamn unicorn kit, that's going to be like $60, you know? I've figured out how to do it. And I'm experienced enough now with LEDs through working on Barbatos that I've already figured out how it's going to work. So, it's just one of those things, man. I wish there were better options. It's a downside of, P-Bandai stuff. You have to be, like, flawless with it. Have a good night, Serena. You might be able to 3D printer replacement. Well, there you go. Next perfect grade might be the Zaku 2 or the Perfect Strike. Any thoughts? Zaku. You asked me anything Universal Century or CE timeline, I'm always going to say Universal Century. Zaku's are awesome. Great grunt suit. Alright, I'm going to be back in a second. I'm going to go throw a breathing strip on and do something to clear out my sinuses. Because I'm admittedly having a little bit of a hard time breathing. So, I will be back in just a moment. Maybe give me 5 minutes at most. Alright. Sorry about the wait. I can breathe now. Breathe Right strips are, like, amazing. The Hyzak's better, though. I like the Hyzak a lot, too. You know, one thing that's actually kind of funny, when I was reading Advance of Zeta, you just found a site that sells replacement parts? Really? Give me the name of it. I want to look it up real quick, because I'm going to bookmark it. I must know. I must know these things, damn it. Actually, real quick. Pull up my drawers. Man. Plamo Kit Bash. Alright. Alright, I'm going to bookmark them. that is awesome. I'm going to check something real quick. Do they have... They don't. If they ever get replacement parts for the GPO2, I will be all over it. Give it a good shake. I just need to remember what Run of the Fin came from. Bandai actually has a website where they have manuals for every single Gunpla ever. And you can look up the runner there. Give me just a second and I'll link you to it. Now you're going to have to use your browser's auto-translate to be able to see what it's tell what it's saying. But it is from them. And it is right here. manual.bandai-hobby.net. And Google will auto-translate it to English, and you'll be able to find the kit really easily. Alright, let's get painting. We'll let those dry. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these white parts done. These are small, they shouldn't need a bunch of coats. Not to mention, I think that my airbrush was just kind of running a little fucked last time. I'm going to have to redo some of the leg parts on the gym, maybe. These are looking really good. No, there's nothing wrong with being prepared. I actually have wish lists on every Gunpla website that I visit, so that if they get those particular kits I'm looking for in, I get an email about them. It's just right now it sucks because I don't have any money, but because my YouTube payment for the month had to go towards personal expenses. But next month, though, I fully plan on getting a gun cannon detector. Well, that's the plan. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing that. I'm hoping to get a new day job within the next couple of weeks. I got a couple good leads. And then having that will, you know, make it so I can enjoy my Gunpla hobby a little bit more. To where it's not something where I'm only doing this every once in a while. Because Gunpla, because it is a hobby and I have to do things with my hands, it's very good for my mental health. I feel good when I do these, you know? Makes me feel better about myself. So I like to work on them. I like doing things with my hands. So I'm very much of the opinion that hobbies are amazing for your mental health. They bring about a good sense of accomplishment whenever you do a good job on something. But I'm trying to get remote work, just because that way I don't have to like walk across town to go to work. But you know, there's also like a couple of gas stations near me. That's like, you know, I could go work overnight like a couple days a week, or a few days a week. Because really, I only need part-time employment right now. Because I don't have many bills. I have my phone, I have my internet, and I have my rent. That's it. And I think 2 subscription services? 3. I have Amazon Prime, I have Walmart Plus, and I have Peacock. And I have Peacock for, like, professional wrestling stuff. I'm really liking what WWE is doing these days, so that's a worthwhile subscription to have. But yeah, like, having a list for conventions is always smart, because a lot of conventions, they will, like, they'll mark stuff down for, or, like, companies will mark stuff down significantly for conventions. So, I know people that got, like, a really good amount of master grades on sale, at different cons, and it's like, god damn, I am envious. How's WWE been? Tremendous. It is the best booked professional wrestling product in the world right now. The big thing that it has over AEW is, first off, a lot less cringe. Because, like, the Young Bucks just... What AEW has done to Okada, as somebody who used to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, is unforgivable. They turned, quite literally, one of the greatest professional wrestlers on planet Earth into a fucking joke character. Where the only thing he does is say bitches funny. Like, all this stuff, like, I can't get into AEW. WWE, on the other hand, has great feuds, good angles, and then the wrestling on top of that is always good week to week. They just had a great triple threat between Braun Strowman. Like, you wouldn't think that with the names I'm going to mention, I would describe it as great, but it was between Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable. And it was a great triple threat. It was booked well, it had its ups and down moments, and at the end of it, the right guy won, you know? And I think a lot of it just has to do with the fact that I think that Triple H has a direction that he's trying to go in with the booking, and he's sticking to it. And he's so experienced with this now because, I mean, he's been in the business for his entire life, for like a good chunk of his life, and it's like, it's so good. It just feels like good old-fashioned professional wrestling. But it's not trying to be like the Attitude Era. It's not trying to get some sort of, you know, cheap pop or something like that. It feels like how wrestling is supposed to be booked, but still keep having its own identity. But Cody Rhodes is a really good champion. His matches with AJ Styles were great. His match at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns was a bit overbooked, but it's WrestleMania. It's going to be a spectacle match. And it really did a great job to close the book on that storyline. Just overall, I'm just very happy with WWE in general. They really know how this is the one thing that they do better than AEW, like substantially. It's getting the use out of their entire roster. Last you heard that was Okada's idea. Was it though? Or was it the Bucks' idea, and because he's their friend that he went along with it? Like, I don't like the Bucks at all. I think that they're terrible. I mean, fucking Matt can't even wrestle a singles match. Only one of the two brothers is able to wrestle singles matches. And they've been in the business for almost 20 years. What the fuck? How is that possible? Uh-oh. That's not good. I talked too much shit. Karma came for me. Okay. Fuck. Gonna need these. God damn it. It's going to be a pain to get out. Ha! Got it. But yeah, don't like the direction things are going. I don't like that they went out of their way to, you know, make Swerve Strickland the champion, and then they kind of treat him like he's the third tier champ. Like, the IWGP title gets more exposure than the AEW title, which is really weird to me. Been watching old CZW stuff. Jesus! Hate Club? I thought Hate Club's dead. Good old Zandig, man. That's because of Forbidden Door coming up, though. Yeah, and I'm of the opinion that Forbidden Door season is the worst season for AEW. Is that where the Zandig clip... Yeah, Zandig used to be the owner of CZW. I think he's the founder. Because, yeah, that promo ends with him looking at the camera really angrily and going, "This is CZW." Yeah, and thanks to Botchamania, that clip has become infamous in the world of professional wrestling. Because Zandig doesn't even own CZW anymore. It's owned by a guy who used to be a wrestler. I don't remember his name, but he did stuff for like Ring of Honor. I think he was a tag team partner of Jon Moxley at one point. But yeah, Zandig is the guy who created CZW and meant for it to be as like basically the new ECW, which I mean, in regards to the type of matches they put on, I mean, there's some truth to that. I'm not really the biggest fan, though. I don't like death matches. I don't think they serve a purpose, personally. Unless they're like... I'm of the opinion having, like, a tournament of death is fucking stupid. And the reason for that is like, I like big matches, like I Quit matches, stipulation matches, basically. I like them to be the payoff to a long feud. So, like, this stuff with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes recently is a good example of that. Where AJ is doing shady shit after already losing an incredible match. You know, losing to the better man. In a match that Meltzer surprisingly gave 5 stars. I was like, okay. But they ended with an I Quit match. And it felt like the payoff. Like, okay, we're done. You know. Hope your next wing video as soon as it watches the Zeta... Will you build the Zeta Verka? Absolutely, dude. That's... like I said, I'm editing the audio for that tonight. And I'm sending that over to Shirt Dude probably in the morning. Once I finish assembling the arms and maybe when we do the weapons, I don't know if I'm going to do the weapons on stream or not, but once that's finished, yeah. Okay, I want to do I want to do the reds now. Yes, be very soon. Give it a week. It's probably going to come out around the 4th of July. I forgot to turn my fan on. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Look how, like, vibrant that is. I love the splash paints red, man. It looks really good. Their MS like line is just tan fucking fastic. I actually used their paints on my repaint of my Zaku 2, and it came out amazing. I've just been very impressed by what they do. Spray that out. And the great thing about it is, like, if you feel like the paint is too thick, Mr. Color Thinner works with it perfectly. Ugh. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a day job at some point to kind of get caught up on some bills and then start saving up for a couple things I would like to have. I would like to have a car again, and this is so lame of me, but I don't really give a shit. I want to get a Kia Soul, and there's a reason for it. It's because it's really easy to step into. I'm a tall guy. I don't like having to step down into a vehicle if I don't have to. So, a Kia Soul I can just step into. You know, like, when it comes to driving, I would prefer to drive, like, a bigger car or a truck, you know. But a Kia Soul is kind of like a good sort of middle ground, because I'm not having to deal with the, you know, lack of gas mileage. So that is the plan, such as it is. You know what? That is too dark of a gray. It's almost black. So let's put that away. And let's grab a substitute. So we need a kind of middle of the road gray, and I have the perfect one. It should be right here. Yep. MS Gray. So we will repaint that other hand. Well, we're going to try painting over this. Actually, no, it's black, so it'll affect it negatively, so we're not going to do that. What we're going to do, this is why I actually keep a jar of waste thinner that I just spilled all over myself. Good thing this is a junk shirt. Let me set those there. But this is why I keep this. Just swirl it around in there for a little bit. And then, to make sure that it doesn't weaken the material, fingers came off, which is fine. But I immediately dab it. Pull it apart and make sure I'm getting all of that jank-ass paint off of it. And now it's clean. Uh-oh. Some of the plastic got weakened. Shit. That's not good. Well... uh-oh. All the plastic got weakened. Shit. Well, I fucked up. Alright. We're gonna set this aside. We're gonna let it dry. I did not expect that to happen. I didn't think the composition of this plastic was as weak as it is. Usually that doesn't happen. So, what we're going to have to do... because I don't think I have any spare hand parts. Nope. There is not any. So what we're going to have to do... I think part of the problem is that, because these joints are fine. Oh, no, they're not. But this plastic looks like it was already bent. So this hand is fucked. Well, the parts are too small, so I can't super glue them back on. I'm gonna turn this fan off while I think. Yeah, I know they don't have any replacement parts. I had looked at it. Which hand is this? This is the right hand. That's even worse. index finger is fine. So that's good. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to super glue the fingers in place. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Because it looks like what happened, and I forgot about it, was that I had... oh, wow. No, this thing's falling apart in my hands. The hand is fucked. Okay. So... shit. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it just broke into little pieces. Like, there's no way I can super glue all this back together. So I fucked it up. Okay. Well, let me check something real quick. So we're going to go ahead and throw this away. So this is a bummer. And this kit's too old to get replacements. So... let's go on to a website real quick, because there are places that sell hands, right? So, USA Gundam Store actually has them, if I remember right. So, detailing parts. Let's just search hands. In stock. Nanodroid. Let's have a look at this one. Does this say what scale it is? 1/144th. Oh, 1 second. So this is for Xeon. Oh, right here. Builder's hands. 1/100 scale Earth Federation Space Forces. Are they in stock? No, they're not. Okay, so let's do a Google search for this. Out of stock. Oh, wow. Okay, Amazon has them. Oh, these are 1/144th scale. Fuck. Mega Warehouse. Sold out. $61. Go fuck yourself. If I just go to builder's parts. Sharp hands, round hands. Is this really that different than the gym hand, is the question. If I painted it all gray, like you're supposed to, would you really notice a difference? What do you guys think? I don't think you would notice a difference, really. Let me see if I can get them for any cheaper than this. Wait a minute. Square type hands. Fixed production hands. Oh, those are like way too expensive. Here we go. She hand unit normal. MS hand 4. Normal type large. These are Kotobukias. So they wouldn't really fit. So it has to have a poly cap at the end. These are 1/144th scale. Normal type mecha hands for high grade and master grade Federation type mobile suits. M is sized for 1/144th scale and for smaller 1/100s. L is sized for 1/100 scale standard size mobile suits. Example, the RX-72. So the large is what I'm looking for. So they're pre-molded, so they have to be painted. And these are 3D printed. For $11? The downside is it looks like the fist does not have an open spot for a weapon. Looks like it's just for punching. You'd have to file the inside of it. So I think I would rather do these. Because these look like they have a little bit more options. But before I do that, we're going to do one last thing. I'm going to dig in my bag. I might have spare hands in here. What is this? Oh, this is a spare launch ramp from a Master Grade kit. These are runners for... I've got runners in here for... Let me just bring my box up. I've got runners in here for... I have runners in here for the Chobham armor of the Alex. I've got runners in here for spare parts. Oh, I've got runners in here that are the bazooka for the new Gundam that I didn't use. There's my... What's this? Oh. Alex water slides. I keep telling myself I'm going to build that Chobham armor at some point. I never do. So, here's F91 stuff. This would be too small. New Gundam stand. Specifically, this is Amuro Ray's insignia. So, technically speaking, you could use it with any Amuro Ray mobile suit. Beam saber. Ooh. This was a spare part for the Barbatos. Does this look familiar to anybody? Sazabi beam effects. Got two of them. I'm seeing hand parts. This is a Marasai. Marasai is not that much bigger than a gem. Let's set that aside. That's Barbatos hands. That's not going to fucking work. Another Amuro Ray stand. I've built two Master Grade New Gundam Verkas, for those wondering. The first one got all fucked up, so I had to buy the second one. This is for monitor stands, so that doesn't need to be in there. Throw that in my closet. This is spare parts from Wing Gundam Verka. So these hands are going to be too small. So can't use that. I see spare parts for the Sazabi in here, including the shield missiles, because I'm missing one of them. Yeah, unfortunately my Sazabi Verka is missing parts. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are these spare hands for... They are. They're spare hands from the GP03. I think we're in business. What do you think? I think we ought to do it. Same in a frame color, too. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you keep a box of spare parts. This is a right hand, and it's a weapon holding one. So we'll set that there. And then I got another one. I've got an open left hand and a trigger holding left hand, and I think that these will fit. So, good work. We'll set these aside. See, this is why you keep spare parts. Oh, and here's the bazooka. This is the bazooka from the GPO3. And the great thing about this is it's got a gimmick to it. Flip this open. Folds over. Because it's called a folding bazooka. Funnily enough, it's supposed to have 2 of these, but the kit does not come with 2 of them. But I got a bunch of stuff in here. Like I've got a spare sheet of water slide decals for the new Gundam. Bunch of spare stuff for the wing. Yep, so this is for the standard wing Gundam. I've got old parts from the Gundam 1.5. I have spare parts from the Crossbone X1 full cloth. Because that kit sucked. That made me very upset because I love that mobile suit. I have more spare parts. These are Crossbone spare parts. I would know those shields anywhere. I have spare parts from... Oh wait, the MS team. There are spare hands in here. So, if the GPO1 does not work, we will just paint these. My spare hands from the Easy 8. We're good. Hell yeah. So, for any of you aspiring Gunpla builders, that is why you keep all of your spare parts that you're not using. Because something like this might happen. So I am a happy camper. Oh, back on track, exactly. So, we will take this hand and compare it. The GPO3's hand is a little smaller to the 2.0's. So here's the 2.0. Here's the GPO3. The GPO3 is a little small. But not so much that I think it's going to make a huge difference. Yeah, that's the left hand. That's the right hand. So right hand, I think what we're going to do is this suit's going to be a lefty. The right hand will hold the shield. The left hand will hold the bazooka that I plan on using with it. So, shall we continue? Because if those hands aren't big enough, we've got the Mara size. The Mara size will be big enough. Because the Mara size is a big kit. He's a big boy. Now, we do need to mix up the gray. Alright, so the wrist guards are done. And good to go. Or you need to get a polycap from another kit. I don't think that'll be necessary. They look like they're about the same. Alright, let's clean this out. Ah. Okay. Now let's get this inner frame. Get this painted. We'll get all looking good. Ah, fuck, I ran out. God damn it. God damn it! A little bit of Cartman. Probably helps if I have my microphone here so you guys can hear me talk. Also, I'm going to bring the camera in a little bit. So you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better. One thing I will have to admit that I'm not happy that I had to do is there was a tanky in the in the comments of that Witch for Mercury video, who was starting to get like way too personal with like some of the shit that he was saying with other people and like that are regulars. I'm like, out, go away. All right. What's a tanky? Communist. How much progress has been made today? We're about done with the arms. We just need to let the paints dry and assemble them. Unfortunately, one of the hands broke up beyond repair when I tried to get some paint that I had fucked up off of it. And so we're going to have to use hands from a different kit. Ugh. Oh, man. I'm going to have to take a nap after this. My neck is just killing me. But we will let these paints dry. We will assemble. Let's give it a minute or so. I'm going to drink the rest of my water. Get me hydrated. No, it's not that. It's not the desk. I woke up with my neck hurting. So it's something with how I slept. I admittedly have joints that are kind of fucked up from like years of powerlifting and things like that from when I was younger. And every once in a while, like whenever a storm rolls through, one of my joints will just be in extreme pain. And this time it was my neck, which gives me a headache. So, have a good night, Gabe. So I just need to take some ibuprofen or something, to kind of help with it. Get it, take care of the inflammation. It's not a huge deal. Like, it's not really like a super painful headache. It's not like a migraine. It's just nagging. It's just like constantly tapping at the back of my neck. So Not a huge deal. All right. Excuse me. Let's get this rolling. So, we need the arm assembly. You hear that? That was thunder in the background. Next stream when? Maybe Friday, maybe Sunday, something like that. We will get working on that gun tank. Some loud ass thunder. Anyway, got our arm assembly here. Need these little bits. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'm turning on the light too. So we got those little bits here. Now we need these parts that look like they go over the elbow. Looks like that pops right there. Perfect. There's that. And then we pop these onto the elbow joint like so. This is my favorite part of building. It's the actual assembly. I like the painting too, don't get me wrong, but the assembly is pretty cool. So now we need this part of the inner frame, which this helps with the forearm molding. This is basically identical to the Gundam. And granted, these are mass-produced Gundams. The difference is that they're not made of the same material as a Gundam. Gundams were made of Luna titanium, and I don't think that the Jim was. Sure, dude's not here, is he? I'm trying to think. What's the? I don't think the Jim is made of Luna titanium. I want to say it's made of like a composite. I could be wrong, though. You would think I would remember that. We just did a series about it, but brain no worky. Okay, so I think I might be looking at the wrong part. I am. It's this right here. What's that? It is titanium alloy? Okay, that's what I thought. The gun tank, it's the master grade gun tank, specifically. Is it that way or is it another way? So, that side down.
it goes. And then this caps it off. Like so. Beautiful. Now we just do it with the other one. That snap is so satisfying. Beautiful. Loving the look of it. So now we assemble. So we've got arm. We just feed it through. Maybe the other way. Yep, like so. So that's fed through that. This part goes like this. Or maybe not. Yep, like that. That's not right. Why is that not? No, it is fitting right. Okay. I'm just paranoid. This part, I swear, is like a USB port. You think it fits one way, and then it's supposed to fit the other way. There we go. Now we need a poly cap. The last two. Wish we got an assault gun tank. Got canceled for some reason. Yeah, I would love the assault gun tank. That thing's a dope-ass design. Last two poly caps. Pop these suckers in. Why are you not wanting to pop in, my friend? Yeah, this is backwards. That's the problem. hate that I'm going to do this, but this part is really stuck in there. There we go. Another thing to keep around when you're building Gunpla. A pair of pliers. Nope, that didn't fix it. What the fuck, you little cocksucker? Like, the arm construction's fine. Okay. I've got it figured out now. Doing essentially assembly in reverse. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta give it a good hard thunking. For some reason, the polycap's not wanting to go in there on this one. Another use for this. Sometimes you just need a little leverage. Nope, that didn't work either. What is going on with this? So it's supposed to go like that. Just go in your hole. Jesus Christ. This is getting really annoying. that get it? No. What the fuck is wrong? It's fitting fine. Oh my god. What the fuck? Now I'm getting angry. You had the same problem with your Gym .0 too? Or 2.0 as well? Yeah, the arms just like, the polycaps just don't want to go in. At least on this arm. The other arm's perfectly fine. It's not going to work. I thought I had it for a second. Okay, I think it's good. Or as good as it's gonna get. Now, is this gonna work? Might be a little too thick. Yep, it's popping right out. Okay, so the GPO hands are not working. Well, let's dig in the bag. So the Marasai was the other option. No, well, let's grab other options. So we've got the EZ8. Got the Marasai. So let's see what options we have with the Marasai stuff, because this is just a bunch of extra crap for it. So here's part of a Marasai hand. Do we have individual fingers? We do. But the real question is whether or not the polycap is going to fit in. It does not. It's too small. Oh, it does fit. It fits this hand. I think I might have widened this one a little bit too much. That or got put in backwards. Let me try something. Yeah, I think I fucked it up again. Might have gotten widened because I used the pliers on it. Yep, there we go. Got it to fit. It's a loose fit, but it does fit. So that is an option, but since this one is a looser fit, no, that's just too big. So that's not even going to work. Let's also look at the hands on the Easy 8. Also too small. Well, it's looking like a loose fit is the best I'm going to get. I could make a rhyme anytime. Okay. Well, we're just going to have to roll with it. I have made my bed. I'm going to have to lie in it. So. Let's see what we've got here. Got a fist. Got a trigger hand. But it looks like there's also the option of having individual fingers. So let's sort these parts out for the stuff that I don't need. Okay. This is a thumb. I think. I might not actually have all the finger parts that I need for this, though. This is certainly a clusterfuck. All because I got a little rushed. Let's do this. Let's put in finger joints. Because this is all getting painted gray anyway, right? I keep popping in one joint and another one pops off completely. That's kind of funny. Hand. So we got that, right? Now. It works. Just put these in one by one. I think we might have something here, guys. There we go. Marsai hand. We got it. It's not the tightest fit, but it fits. A fingernail that's starting to get ingrown. Where's that Marasai bag? There. What? No grand celebration? No cheering in the streets? I see how it is. I'm kidding. This one might actually be missing a finger. But you know what? Given all the BS that I've had to deal with this fucking kit, because this thing's a hand grenade. Missing one finger right now, not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's missing the top of one finger, which might actually still be in the bag. Yep, it is. So never mind. Never mind. Arr. Almost done. They fit. Oh my god. I was getting so stressed out. God damn. Losing my fucking mind. Ugh. Ugh. Fuck. Okay. Now, I don't know if these articulated hands will be that great at gripping weaponry. But if they can grip a shield... Yeah, because they don't have a third joint. But they'll be able to grip the shield at least. And if nothing else, I can just have it salute. Reminds me of Iron Man 2. I can make salute. What do you mean, make salute? My bird. Now, I may still invest in some spare hands, but these will work for now. In the meantime, it's time for shoulders. And then we're gonna, once the arms are on, and I paint these hands, I am going to call it so I can go eat. I have not eaten anything yet today. I think I'm going to make some pizza. Damn it. Stop falling, parts. So that fits. Now, we got Jim, our good buddy Jim, who sadly we'll just say Jim has wrist problems. It gets the best of us. Hand grenade. I swear to you. There he is. The Gym 2.0. I don't like this kit. I don't like it, man. Not a fan. It looks nice, but god damn, the arm the construction on this is not that great. I think I like the ground type a lot more. And the ground type's got issues too, because it's old. Needs a 3.0. Yeah, the 3.0's arm construction's a lot better. I mean, it's all right. It's okay. It looks good. Like the aesthetics of the kit are very good. Like it's a very clean looking kit. The construction looks fine. It's very anime accurate. But yeah, the arm construction could use a little work. Though admittedly a good chunk of that is user error on my part. Oh my goodness. So what I'm going to do... Are you serious? My tennis shoes are beneath my desk and the fucking wrist part had fallen into them. So for now, what we're going to do... We're just going to... The Marasai hands are actually too big. We're going to put the Marasai hands in there as a placeholder. I will, at some point when I get some extra money, I will just buy some... I'm going to buy the Zeon hands and put them in there. Fuck it. But I will buy some actual proper hands that work for the kit. And we'll go from there. So next time that we stream... Because, yeah, these hands can't hold weapons. And it fell out again. So the next time that we stream, we will be doing... we'll be doing the gun tank. But Jim here, I'm going to just set him on my desk as a come back to it later kit. Oh, that was frustrating. Oh, God. So on that note, guys, I'm going to take off and get a bit of rest and food. Food and rest. Food and rest sounds really good. So, I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging with us today. Let's say we'll come back to this on like Saturday or something. So
On that note, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. My name is Micah Curtis. Favorite Vanilla Gorilla.